Welcome. This is Introduction to Scrum as an Agile Framework by Michael Vizdos. You can learn more about me at michaelvizdos.com/about. I'm an entrepreneur with over a 30-year career, an author, speaker, and a certified Scrum trainer with the Scrum Alliance. I also am a co-organizer to scrumarva.org, a local meetup group. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.mvizdos.com. We'll start out with the Agile Manifesto, and this is the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. The idea around this is to value the items on the left more than the items on the right. So we'll focus on individual and interactions, working software, customer collaboration, and responding to change. There are many different types, three-letter acronyms. In this video, we are focusing on Scrum as an Agile framework. There are many different Agile scaling approaches. This video does not concentrate on any of those. The tough stuff about Agile is prioritizing between projects or products. Let's say you have 3 products or projects, A, B, and C. The traditional strategy is everything is important. Do it all at once. The Agile strategy is prioritize and focus. Finish project or product A before moving on to B and C. Your throughput will increase. Your effectiveness will become that much better. What's the point? You want to focus, #deliver. Jerry Weinberg has a really good chart about the loss to context switching and the percent of time available per project. If you're working on simultaneous projects, you can see as you go from 1 to 5, the effectiveness that you have and the loss that you have to context switching. Again, the point is focus, #deliver. This Scrum overview is based on the 2020 Scrum Guide, and it's available at scrumguide.mvizdos.com. You can get a free audiobook and interactive Scrum Guide at that address, and that's the official Scrum Guide 2020 version by Ken Schwaber and Jeff Sutherland. Past overviews were based on the 2017 Scrum Guide and earlier, and the deprecated skeleton of the framework looks a lot like this. This may look familiar to you. However, with the introduction of the new overview in the 2020 Scrum Guide, you can see the revisions and changes from the 2017 to the 2020 version at scrumguide_revisions.mvizdos.com. This video concentrates on the 2020 version and will begin with the Scrum theory. Scrum focuses on iterative and incremental product delivery. Scrum focuses on the empirical Scrum pillars, which include transparency, inspection, and adaptation. There are 5 Scrum values: focus, openness, respect, commitment, extreme courage. Actually, it's just courage. However, I wanted you to remember the word force in spelling out focus, openness, respect, commitment, and courage. The Scrum team is made up of developers, a product owner, and Scrum Master. These are now accountabilities. There are 5 Scrum events. The container for all other events is called the sprint. It includes sprint planning, the daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. There are Scrum Artifacts and commitments to those artifacts. They include a product backlog with a commitment called a product goal. There's a sprint backlog with a commitment called the sprint goal. There's an increment with a commitment called the definition of done. You can get a free bonus by subscribing at implementingscrum.com. I'll send you a free interactive PDF file with direct links to the interactive Scrum Guide. It'll look like this, all hyperlinked back to the interactive Scrum Guide, free. If you're interested in a deeper dive into this, please visit scrumfundamentals.com. I'll include free resources and an optional video course guiding you through the Scrum Guide. A few more things. There's now a definition of a product. A product is a vehicle to deliver value. It has a clear boundary, known stakeholders, well-defined users or customers. A product could be a service, a physical product, or something more abstract. The definition of an increment. An increment is a concrete stepping stone toward the product goal. The moment a product backlog item meets the definition of done, an increment is born. Multiple increments may be created within a sprint. The sum of the increments is presented at the sprint review, thus supporting empiricism. However, an increment may be delivered to stakeholders prior to the end of the sprint. The sprint review should never be considered a gate to releasing value. You also can do product backlog refinement throughout the entire sprint. The order of events include sprint planning, where the product owner will talk about why is this sprint valuable. The developers will figure out what can be done in this sprint by pulling in the refined product backlog items that create the valuable sprint. The developers are also responsible to decide how the chosen work gets done. The second event is the daily scrum. The daily scrum is set up so that the sprint backlog can be examined on a daily basis to make sure that the sprint goal is going to be achieved. The sprint review is where the Scrum team presents the finished product that meets the product goal and probably will result in an updated product backlog. The sprint retrospective is the last event, and that event is really made for the Scrum team to talk about how do we get better implementing Scrum in the future. The team may put one of those items into the sprint backlog to be worked on during the next sprint. Again, you can pick up a free bonus by subscribing to implementingscrum.com. I'll send you a free interactive PDF file with direct links to the interactive Scrum guide. The point of all this is to focus, #deliver. Interested in a deeper dive? Visit scrumfundamentals.com. It includes free resources and an optional video course guiding you through the Scrum guide. You can get more information at michaelvizdos.com, iwantscrumtraining.com, agilementoring.com, and subscribe to my weekly emails at implementingscrum.com. Finally, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.mvizdos.com. This is the end of the introduction to Scrum as an Agile framework. Thank you.